Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Is Roger Chen from Center for Business Studies and Innovation of Asia Pacific, University of San Francisco. Mr. Lip-Bu Tan, we are very pleased and thank you for helping us to do this interview program. Would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Sure. So I think thank you for inviting me. I'm an executive chairman of Cadence Design and also chairman and founding managing partner of the Walden Group that include Walden International, Walden Catalyst, Celesta Capital. We manage about $5 billion of asset under management. And I did my undergrad from Nanyang Technology University in physics. Then I did my graduate school at MIT, nuclear engineering. And then I also did my MBA at USF.
Discussion topic, VC's view, the differences between Asia and US new ventures.
Lip-Bu, actually, you are almost like reading my mind because my next question is exactly about the difference between kind of non-Asians and non-Asians or startups in Asia or in Silicon Valley, because you are very active in both. You did very well in both areas. So could you elaborate? Maybe first the difference is the difference between the, because we are representing the Asia Pacific Center, so naturally Asian culture is a very important element. So how do you comment on the differences, the strength and weakness of Asian entrepreneurs versus non-Asian entrepreneurs, even in the United States?
Good question. Through my experience, I think US entrepreneurs, they tend to talk a lot. They are more articulate and they are more aggressive to express their view and also very good at cover up area that they are weak. Asian entrepreneurs tend to be more reserved and more, unless you ask for it, otherwise it's not open up. So it takes some time to really get them open up. And then, and sometimes it's also important to get to know the entrepreneur, their family. And sometimes I insist to meet their wife and then their children together. So in the way you get them to see their behavior in the family, and also the wife know that person the best, and then their strengths and weaknesses. And sometimes it's good to get to know their spouse, and then that will be good. And then the other part is Asian tend to be not very bragging. And then you just have to be really understanding what they try to say and what are they good at. And that's why a lot of doing due diligence. And then the Asia side depend on different country. Sometimes they keep different books. So you did need to really know their culture, their way of operating. And then so the honesty and integrity is above all, is more tricky. In the Asian investment. And also some of the Asian successful entrepreneurs tend to be very ambitious, and US entrepreneurs tend to be more focused. Asian entrepreneurs try to do 3 or 4 things at the same time. So you need to really encourage them to be focused one at a time and prioritize that. And so that's where I think you need to kind of build the friendship and then build the trust, and so don't just jump in and later on you found a huge mistake and the money just disappeared. And so I think some of the VC guys learn that mistake in Asia. So I think it's just, entrepreneur from Singapore to Indonesia to India to China to Taiwan, they're all different. You need to know their culture. I happen to have operation in multiple Asian. I help starting that. So in a way for me to learn their culture, so I can be more effective reading the people's more accurately. And so that part, I think it takes time to learn that.
That's great. So you talk about the kind of like the weakness or maybe strength. Asian entrepreneurs tend to be more conservative, not articulating. But do you also see some kind of advantages that Asian entrepreneurs with the Asian culture heritage or from Asia, that's their strength they should know and they should kind of really leverage and enhance in the entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, again, back to, you need to know their culture
Mm,
and then what their comfort zone. Like if I invest a lot in India, India, they tend to be more outsourcing, like software outsourcing. They're really good at it. I back quite a few of that successfully. But if they want them to work on the own products, take the market risk, they are hesitate. So you need to know their culture difference. And so you really emphasize their strength and then de-emphasize the area they're not good at, and then add on people that can complement their strength or their weaknesses. So I think it's very important to understanding their culture, their background, and then their training, so that you can make judgment call and what are the risk management. And eventually, I think venture capital investment or company building is a risk reduction program. So, from day one, you have many risks, then slowly eliminate the risk, then eventually become very successful. So I think the more you're understanding the culture, the understanding the product, the market dynamic, depending on what market they try to address, and then you can make a more wise judgment call to pick the right investment. And also after the investment, I always say 10% of the work is before investment. Then 70% of the work is day-to-day for the next 10 years. And then how do you adjust, changing the model, changing the business, focus on right products, and then recruit the talent team to build it. So it's a long journey. And then it's a partnership with the entrepreneur. So make sure that you know him well, you can read his mind. Otherwise, you're going to be getting into trouble. Then most likely you guys are going to be fighting.
Thank you for watching.